No. So this is day 7 of our 7-day challenge. It is Sunday morning, and so he loves the camera. We are having oatmeal for breakfast. We wanted to make sure we did not waste things that we made in this project, and so the caramel sauce that we made that did not come out thick enough, we are putting on our oatmeal today. It tastes really good. This is the same caramel sauce that we put on bread the other day. So we've got 3 meals left today, and then 1 meal left tomorrow because of the meal we didn't do yesterday. And we will do the breakdown and everything tomorrow, but I hope you join us to see what else we do today. Hi, welcome to Herding Little Cows. Okay, this is the end of our low spend challenge. So we did 7 days for $75 for our family of 9. Youngest one being an infant, but my other eaters are all like adult size eaters. Even though they're small children, they eat a ton. So we are at the end. The only things that got added to our food budget, we are finishing our last meal today because we had pizza for lunch on Saturday, a special treat, and that was not included in our food budget, so that final meal is being eaten today for lunch. Last night, if anyone has a toddler, they understand this. Last night we added a banana that had been bought for this coming week's food. Our toddler had eaten some food mid-afternoon, then it was coming time for supper. He was just, I want soup. The soup wasn't ready and everything. By the time the soup got ready, he didn't want the soup anymore, and he was falling asleep at the dinner table because it was Sunday. He didn't get a nap. And so we gave him a banana because that was something that he would eat, and I knew he'd have a full belly before he went to bed. So that was not accounted for in our $75. We did add 2 sticks of butter over the course of the week that was already here in the house. It wasn't in the fridge and pantry we were using, but if I were to do this challenge again, I would increase my budget by a few dollars and add another box of butter. That's the only thing I would have changed over the course of the week, except we made 1 meal where we were going to make taco beans served on rice. Nobody liked those, so I would have cut the kielbasa smaller, and we would have had Brazilian beans and rice every lunch. The kids loved those, and so instead of that 1 meal we did taco beans and rice, we would have had Brazilian beans and rice. So I will show you first what is left from the $75 challenge and the stuff that I will not have to purchase again. I'm sorry, I'm going to be looking down often because I want to make sure I'm giving you the prices of what these things were when we bought them. I wrote down all the prices. This is hard to read because it's my messy handwriting, but I wrote down what the item was, how much it cost, divided it out by so many cups and whatever because I used the cups and teaspoons to figure out the recipes. So I will tell you what we have left. We have approximately 1 cup of oatmeal left. This was a $2.67 container, so I would need, if I were doing this challenge next week, I would need to buy oatmeal again, but I do have a little bit left. I would also need to buy coffee again. I have 1/5 of it left maybe. This coffee cost $2.63 for the container. So that was having coffee every morning and occasionally in the afternoon. Other than coffee, water was the only drink that we had except for 1 meal. Near the end of the week, we finished off the milk that was in the house. I still have plenty of ground cinnamon. We've used maybe 1/6 of it. So that was 98 cents. We used very, very little of the ground cumin. That was 98 cents. The Creole seasoning, we used maybe 1/4 of it. The Creole seasoning was $1.98, so I would not need to purchase that again. We used about 1/3 of the garlic. I would have used more garlic as the start of the week. I was trying to conserve it because I wasn't sure how fast it was going to go. So you would not need to buy garlic again, but that was $1.74. Most of these things, like these ones I just mentioned, all of these would last multiple weeks for the future if you were to do this challenge again, that you would not need to rebuy them. Baking powder would last another week because we used about half of it. That was $1.27. And oil, we still have plenty of oil left. So this would last for probably 10 more weeks. This was $1.74 for the container of oil. So those are the things that I have. Oh, and about a teaspoon yeast from those little containers. That is what I have left for the actual foods that we bought. And then for foods that we made, I still have this much of the liquid caramel. I told you that we used this on oatmeal and on toast. It was very, very good. And we still have my second batch that still didn't come out right that we're eating as candy. We still have that much left. So that is the food we still have left in the house, not accounting for the stuff we are eating at lunch today that had already been planned. So if I was going to do this challenge again, I subtracted out those things that I would not have had to buy. You know, I do not have to buy more oil or those spices, more baking powder. That would end up giving me $8.76 left for next week's budget. So if I was going to do the $75 challenge again, buying the exact same things, I would have $8.76 that would not need to be repurchased because I already have it here. If I was going to do this challenge again for next week, I would be spending $10.43. That accounts for the extra box of butter I'm counting in that I already talked about. I would also spend an extra $2.59 to buy 25 pounds of flour instead of 15 pounds of flour because we could make more bread and stuff to use for snacks or more biscuits or those things. I would buy the larger container of yeast instead of the small packets. I didn't price check that right now, but even the jar of yeast at the store is much cheaper than buying it in these packets. So I would spend another $2.89 for the next week. So instead of buying these, I would buy the little jar. And instead of buying the 16 ounces of peanut butter that I bought, I would buy a 40-ounce container, which would cost another $2.04 on top of what the 16-ounce one would have cost. Those were things that we used up right at the end of the week, but we used sparingly throughout the week. I could have added more protein and fat snack by putting more peanut butter on the bread. Not that the kids didn't have enough, just something that would have given us more option. We only had peanut butter with our toast so many times. We could have done it more times. So those are the things that would have made my family happy. On top of that, any extra money I would have used to buy more fruits and vegetables because fruits and vegetables are very good for you, and my family really likes them. So that would have been, if next week I had $100 to spend, we're not doing this challenge again in this way. We will be doing more food challenges, but not this. Like if I had $100 to spend, I would still only spend my $10.43 on top of the stuff I didn't have to rebuy. So it would end up being about a $78 grocery budget, and then I would use the rest to buy fruits and vegetables. So that's how I would do it. Now I'm going to do a cost breakdown of the meals we ate. So, like I showed you, I took the meals. This is how you would do a cost breakdown. I wrote the price. So oatmeal was $2.67. I'm trying to read it backwards. I divided it out by 15 cups. How I figured that out was I read the container. It says it has a half cup of dry. There's 30 servings, so 30 divided by 2 would be 15 cups of oatmeal in this container. So $2.67 divided by 15, I used a calculator for this, was 18 cents a cup or a little less. I always rounded up on here so I could make sure that I was giving you fair prices. If it was 18.1, I would round up to 19. So that's how this worked. So I did that for all of the food. The only food I did not price out like that were the spices. Anytime that I used a spice, I counted it as 5 cents. It was probably way less than that, but I just did 5 cents because it was easy math. And I counted salt and pepper for 1 cent a teaspoon. And I did not figure out, coffee was 30 cents per tablespoon, but I didn't figure out how much coffee we drank every day. So everything that I'm talking about was included on our $75 budget. So I have the menus, but you guys know what we ate if you're watching these videos, so I'm not going to share the actual menu itself. So for our family to have oatmeal, which is milk, water, oatmeal, sugar, and salt, and then people put cinnamon on at the table, was $1.81. That was 4 cups of dry oats. I'm not going to tell you every ingredient and everything, but to show you the amount of food that was. The noodles, the chicken soup that we made, which was an onion, carrots, celery, garlic, and chicken broth. When I did that, when I figured out how much that was, I figured out chicken and chicken broth all at the same price. I could have done a better breakdown, but what I did was we put the 10 pounds chicken, cooked them all at once, pulled all the meat. We had one meal that had the meat, then the rest of the meat was saved and put in the soup, and the chicken bones were cooked down for broth. So I just said that we used chicken and chicken broth for 7 meals, divided out the price by those 7 meals. That's how I figured out that calculation. So the chicken soup cost $2.22 to make. We added some different things to that chicken soup. So noodles that I showed you how to make were 22 cents to add to it. Biscuits that we added to it were 91 cents. And then we added rice. So a cup of rice, what we did last night, was 19 cents. Some days we just ate it with bread and stuff like that, but I think that is the things we ate in the chicken soup. The Brazilian beans and rice. So for the rice, which we did 4 cups of rice and 1 pound of beans, plus onion, kielbasa, garlic, oil, and Creole, was $2.48. We ate that every day for lunch, almost every day for lunch, and the family loved it and would still eat it. They're still asking for it. The first day we cooked up the chicken, we had chicken and cooked carrots and rice. And for that meal, I already explained how I broke down the chicken price, but for that meal, we spent $2.91. So everyone had a serving of chicken, serving of rice with butter on it, and cooked carrots. We had pancakes for breakfast. Once I made the pancakes, when I took them off the griddle, put the hot side up, I would use the stick of butter, which was cold, and rub it on the pancake and then sprinkle them with cinnamon sugar. So I'm not counting the cost of the butter and cinnamon sugar, but the pancakes themselves, I made 4 batches of pancakes, and those 4 batches all together came to $1.41 for that breakfast. So you add butter, cinnamon, sugar, it was probably $2 altogether.
With 9 happy campers.
They were very happy. So that was 9, the 8 people eating. Malachi enjoyed it later. For the taco beans, which I said we didn't like, but we did eat for 1 meal, I figured that out. That was $1.75. The bread that we made, actually, I will go back to bread in a minute. I'm going to finish up the rest of the things. You guys saw me do 2 attempts at caramel sauce. Neither one came out how the recipe was supposed to come out. That was my fault, not the recipe's fault. But it cost 45 cents per recipe. And so, like I said, this one we've been eating just as candy. We've been taking pieces and eating it. And this one we used on bread. Tastes like honey. It was really good. And we used it in our oatmeal. And everybody enjoyed that. So we didn't waste that 45 cents. It was used. If you look back on one of my videos, we made banana bread, which did not have any oil or milk in it. And that banana bread recipe cost $1.35. Everyone enjoyed that. We had apple muffins one day where I used a regular muffin recipe and we cut up 3 apples and put inside. So it was kind of more like an apple cake. It was dense and good. Everyone liked it. That was $2.05. And then Virginia made some banana cookies, which was 2 mashed bananas and a cup of oatmeal. And that cost 56 cents, and that was an afternoon snack. So we used all of that, and then I didn't figure out prices for snacks and stuff because some days we would cut up apples and eat them with some peanut butter, or we would have bread with one of our toppings, whether it be butter and cinnamon sugar or peanut butter or the caramel sauce. So I did not figure out the snack prices in there.
But that was all within the $75.
But that was all within the $75. Everything we used, for people who haven't seen this, everything we used was in the $75 budget, except for the 2 sticks of butter, which I said that I added, and the 1 banana last night that we ate. We had a separate storage area for our food, a separate fridge, and a separate pantry, so that we weren't accidentally grabbing the wrong thing. And the only thing that was not included in that was the salt and pepper. Everything else was bought. Okay, so bread. We spent 52 cents per loaf making the bread, which sounds like a really good deal. And it is. 52 cents having to make bread this way is a really good deal and a really good way to spread meals. But this little packet of yeast costs 29 cents per teaspoon to make bread. So we made a low yeast bread recipe, and it cost it was a half a teaspoon per loaf. So instead of 29 cents, it was 15 14.5 cents per loaf for yeast. When we make bread the other way, it's less than a penny for yeast. So instead of a 52 cent loaf, it would be a 38 cent loaf. And because we buy flour in bulk and we buy other stuff in bulk, our bread ends up being about 33 cents a loaf. 52 cents a loaf is still a really good deal, but buying it this way is not most cost effective. But if that's all the money you have and that's how you're going to start your pantry, buying this still to make 52 cent bread is very good. Bread spreads a meal amazingly. Whether it's having it with snack, like I was saying, with peanut butter, having it on the side of a loaf of bread, having it with eggs in the morning, bread really does spread your budget. So the breakdown of that was we would make 4 loaves at a time for most of it, and that cost $2.07 to make the 4 loaves. Cost breakdown 52 cents each loaf.
So did you feel that people liked this bread better?
Oh, yes. The way that we made the bread, the low yeast way, the yeast isn't the main player in the bread anymore. You don't have that alcohol fermenty taste that the yeast makes. It actually brought out other flavors in the bread, and I think that our family's actually going to be eating bread this way, even though it's cheap to buy yeast the other way and make the regular yeast bread. The downside of this bread is you have to let it rise overnight. So if you forget to make it the night before, this is a longer recipe, but it didn't take any more hands-on work. It just took more rising time. So we will be making it that way unless mommy forgets that we're supposed to start it the night before. But I think the bread actually tastes better, and we're going to be doing a comparison. We're going to be sending some bread to my mom's work and having them decide whether they like low yeast bread better or regular yeast bread better, and I will let you know of those results. We enjoyed doing this challenge. We are not going to be doing this challenge in the same way. And hold on, Mark has a question. Oh, you don't have a question. Okay, I thought he was asking me something from the background. We're going to be doing other challenges as time comes up. So one day a week, we will be doing a price comparison. I'm going to just mention something, but like pancakes. I'm going to show you how we make pancakes, break down the items that we have, because we have prices on almost everything in our pantry already, and I'll price them out if I don't have them. We will tell you how much it costs our family to make pancakes, and then I will show you a comparable amount of pancakes if you bought them from a name brand company, like if you were to buy the Bisquick mix to make pancakes, that type of deal. So we will be doing that once a week, the same day every week. We haven't exactly figured out the day. It might be Tuesdays, but it might not. But we will be doing a cost breakdown of meals. We will also sporadically be doing recipes of like 5 different ways to make bread, that type of thing. We are looking at different ideas coming for the future. So if you liked these videos, please suggest things you would like to see us do. Can't necessarily say we can do all of them, but if you have an idea of something that you would like to see our family attempt for a smaller challenge, like a one-day challenge, or trying to make a variety of things from one item, please suggest those in the suggestions downstairs under this video. And we've enjoyed having you all join us. I hope that you guys have learned from this ways that you can reduce your budget. And if you think that these videos would be helpful to any of your friends, please share these videos. That's why we're doing this. We want to glorify God in the things that we do and say, and we want to help people see that they can live with one income, having a stay-at-home mom, and that it can all work out in the end. So we are glad you joined us, and we will see you next time.